So I get this free like magazine from Germany called Fluter. And yeah, so it's kind of like this very liberal oriented um, yeah, I mean it's like different topics like politics, culture, sexuality, like race, neighborhoods. Like it's just like an all-encompassing sort of. I don't know how to explain it. It just has like every time I get it, there's a new topic, and it's um, it comes across as worldly and progressive and liberal, right? That's the idea, and they have like all sorts of topics. And I haven't really read one in a long time. I am bilingual in German. So I wanted to make this video because I just opened the most recent one. So it's spring 2025, number 94. And it's saying open up to page 52 right now. And this is about school. So I haven't read any articles in it yet, but I was curious and I just started leafing through, um, just very quickly and looking at the table of contents. And um, I don't see anything about Gaza in here. There's absolutely nothing about Gaza. So here's an article about inclusion. I literally just got this, so I just flipped through the pages to see if there was something about Gaza. Nope, I'm on page, different article. Now they do have a section here about schools around the world. And let's see, I don't know which countries these are, but they're showing like children playing outside. Sorry, my lighting isn't great. I'm not like a journalist. So those pictures are from, let's see. Oh, here we go. Catholic school in London and a school in Mombasa, Kenya. And the next page, they have a school in Palm Loop, Montserrat, a picture of a school in Mexico, China, and yeah. Oh, sorry, the one on top is Tokyo, Japan. It's kind of small writing, and so nothing about Gaza, nothing about Gaza Great Minds. Anybody paying attention right now would know that there's, scholasticide that's been happening, and then they have like, more cute images and things. I haven't read this. So this is interesting now. And here it says, and above the war. Because Russia has bombarded the city, these particular schools, here it says Charkiv schools, are in the subway stations now. How do you learn 6 meters under the earth? So they have something about Ukraine. Yeah. So, and then they have pictures here of rubble in the Ukraine. And, that's fine. I think that should be covered, how different people adapt. Um, Here they show, you know, obviously it's, in the subway area, and they talk about different kids. I'm just quickly looking. So that's that article, which I didn't read. Um, and then there's a article about weirdos and unknowns. I guess that's supposed to just be a prompt. I don't know. So, and then they have like a whole thing on comfort food and ice creams. And this might be about, how kids are coping with those kinds of foods. And we know that children in Gaza are really struggling to find nourishment and have even died from malnutrition. So there is mention of a teacher with an Arabic last name. She is Syrian, and I didn't read the article. Just quickly skimming, I don't see anything with the word Palestine in here, in the article about her. Here's like more cute, weird art that they put in. Then there's like an article about school shootings and kids getting ready for that. Here they have fake blood on themselves, like they're being trained. So this is about school shootings in the USA, right? And some of the pictures are a little graphic, like some fake blood images. Yeah, so they're willing to talk about two violent things, the Russia-Ukraine war and school shootings. And then here's something about how immigrants learn different languages, and I guess there's a disco set up for it, something like that. Again, I just got this. Just nonsense filler, I guess. I don't know what that is. And then it's about school kids in Germany who interrupt their school time, like they drop out. And it's interesting that they have that about German kids who are dropping out of school, but nothing about the kids in Gaza who have been forced out of school. Hi, sweetie. I know, I'm upset. And then there's a little blurb here about, is violence escalating in schools? And it's just a general thing about, probably kids getting in fights. I didn't read it, like I said. So now we have a spotlight on a young woman who's in the circus, and I'm assuming, this is about how she balances her circus life with school life. Nothing about Gaza. Circus kids, but no Palestinian kids. Then they have something about South Korean schools. And then they have an article about, in Germany, every child has the right to learn. This is about autism, and, so it's a focus probably on, I don't know if it's about integration, but, so they're focusing on kids in school with autism. And then there's kind of another filler article, short one. And then there's a section about a focus on smartphones and whether and so the idea is that usually smartphones are prohibited, but apparently in Dortmund, they're gonna try and integrate them. This is just me skimming quickly. And we know a lot of kids in Gaza and college students are trying to do their homework and learn through their smartphones right now. And then this is really bewildering. So they decided to do, this thing about Russia bombing Ukraine and the Ukrainian students learning in the subway. So here's a big crappy filler article about a photographer. Nothing against her, but they decided to do this huge spread about this young woman, Anna, going to Croatia for her graduation. It's a huge spread. Pictures of kids doing kid stuff, partying, sandals, beach, pushing in the shopping cart. Huge spread. Okay, and then that's it. And then there's something at the end. Then they have like these, kind of AI. I guess that's the next publication. Maybe they'll be talking about AI in schools, or they have a link where you can read about it. So that's it. Now, they could have used this waste of space to at least devote 1 or 2 sides to the Palestinian children in Gaza whose schools are constantly bombed, the universities are decimated, and I'm just appalled because this is supposed to be like one of those really liberal, socially aware, racially aware rags, and I think it's important to see the erasure and the hypocrisy. And it's appalling. Anybody on social media sees what's happening. Anybody on social media can do a search in any language to try and learn how kids in Gaza are trying to continue to go to school. They did it for Ukraine. Nothing. Erasure. This is shitty. The whole thing is about schools and how, it's just... Luckily, it's free and I don't have to pay for it.